Hello, this is Chaplain Mark Stevens with your spiritual tip of the day. Um, I want to talk a little bit about suicide and depression. Um, as you know, I'm a retired military person, and I was diagnosed with PTSD about 5 years ago. And it took me a long time to get up the nerve to go see a psychiatrist because, when you're a black man and a Christian, in our arena, in our areas, we don't really talk about going to psychiatrists too much, but I'm glad I did. Um, the statistics are staggering for the number of military guys and women that are committing suicide, and it's in all five branches of the military. A lot of times people think the only people that get PTSD are folks that were in frontline combat, and that's not true. Military people get exposed to things that the average civilian doesn't see. I know in my case, the primary things that kind of traumatized me when I was in the military was being around dead bodies. We transported bodies, and I was in the military airlift command, the airlift control element, and we deployed in the combat zones. We would take weapons in and ship bodies out, wounded people out, and there were some things that did traumatize me. But I think back, and the thing that traumatized me the most was when I was in Mogadishu, Somalia, and I was held at gunpoint. It could have been for more than an hour, but it seemed like an eternity. And one of the Somalian soldiers had pointed an AK-47 at my head. And I didn't realize how bad that bothered me until I watched a movie one day, about 5 years ago. And it happened to a guy in the movie. And when the guy pointed the gun at the guy's head, I immediately started crying. And that's when I knew something was wrong, in addition to the nightmares that I got. So if you're a black man, or any kind of man, but I say black man because black people don't believe in psychiatrists for the most part. If you're having nightmares, trouble sleeping, and you're antsy all the time, can't relax, you hyper, go see a psychiatrist. It doesn't mean you're not a Christian or you're not saved, because church folks have you believing that you don't need a psychiatrist. What a psychiatrist does is listen. That's what they do. They listen. And even one of Jesus' names is the Wonderful Counselor. All of us need counseling sometimes, so don't be scared to go talk to somebody about your issues. Because if you don't, you may end up doing some of the same things that some of my fellow service members have been doing, and that's take your life. God bless you guys.